welcome you to another Friday Chart Clinic for the date 5th of October 2012. With me, we have Bill Worma and also a guest here with me in Jupiter Securities. By the way, for those who don't know, I'm actually currently with Jupiter now for that. So I am with them. So those of you who are interested in some sort of accounts opening can really get in touch with me. Okay, today we're going to talk about things which is very close to us in heart, especially when it comes to gold investment. Bill is going to talk about the recent gold rate that we see investment in Malaysia. So that's one, and then I'll talk about the October 2012 stock market comments. And there were a few questions that was asked by the regarding about technical analysis for the Malaysian stock market in here. So, and then there was also a question about a person. We are turning as to be a financial advisor in here. There's a question in here. You can see someone's turning 50, is looking for some advice. And then finally, we're going to go on to analyzing the stocks. Okay. So that's the agenda for today for our short half an hour in here. I know we are starting early. That's better. The early bird always get the early worm here. Okay. So I'll pass you on to Bill to talk about the gold Geneva thing. All right, Bill?
Okay, thanks, Martin. Okay, there's been a lot of news about gold recently, about this company called Geneva Gold, and thousands of investors have lost a lot of money in that. So today I'm going to share a few things that might help you to avoid these kind of schemes and also to profit in the gold market. The first thing about gold that you need to understand about gold: gold has no internal rate of return. Unlike bonds, which pay a coupon interest, stocks pay dividends, properties, landed property gives you a rental income. These all have an internal rate of return, whereas gold is not. Gold gives you nothing, like a block of lead, like a tanker full of palm oil. It gives you no income whatsoever. So when a company promises you interest on your gold that you purchase, you have to ask yourself, where does this money come from? Well, bottom line, the money comes from people who further invest down the road. So they take the new money from the new investors to pay the old investors. And if you think about it from a common sense point of view, there's only one way to profit on gold. You buy low and you sell high. That's it. If it goes sideways or if it goes down, you lose money. Now let me share with you a few rules about buying gold that can save you from getting caught in one of these Geneva gold scams. The first is cash and carry. When you buy physical gold, always take delivery on the spot. If you go to Maybank and you buy a Kijang, you pay your money, you take your Kijang. If you go to Kitco in Hong Kong, the same thing goes. You pay your money, you take delivery. If you buy from Perth Mint in Australia, you pay your money, you take your gold. Now, if you don't wish to be burdened with the storage problems of physical gold and being robbed or something like that, you have one other alternative, and these are ETFs. Now, even there's a caveat. If you do buy an ETF, which is an exchange-traded fund, if you always make sure that the fund has physical gold, is listed on the exchange, is audited, subject to exchange audits. Now, however, there are none in Singapore, none in Malaysia. There is one in Australia. We did the due diligence on that. Martin and I, we talked to the fund manager. They have allocated gold. That means they have the physical gold, and they do allow delivery if you so desire. The ones in the U.S. Do not allow physical delivery. They are paper gold. Now, the problem with that is, should they not have the gold and they refuse to be audited, you might get caught with nothing and lose everything. So, and that's one thing. Now, if you take physical gold, there are tests for gold, very simple tests that you can make to make sure that you're getting the real McCoy. First is very simple. It's the magnet test. You can buy a magnet, any magnet from a hardware shop, and some of the crude forms of counterfeit gold, they have iron in the center and gold plated on the outside, so a magnet will immediately reveal that to be a fake. The other one, a way of testing gold, is the sound test. This is also very simple. You take your gold coin and you drop it on a hardwood surface. If it rings, it makes a ring, then chances are it is gold. Now, you can also take and hold the gold coin with your index finger and take another one and just gently ping it. If it resonates like a tuning fork, chances are that is real gold. So if it has tungsten core, when you drop it, it will thud. It won't ping. So the ping test, the magnet test, those are two very simple tests you can employ. Now also be very careful of dealers. Dealers who sell gold, many times they will have counterfeit gold that they receive, and they don't do the testing, and they'll pass it on to you. Once you walk out the door, you're stuck. So only deal with the banks, with Kitco, with Perth Mint, Maybank, places like that. Gold dealers also may have suffer from counterparty risk. Now, the other thing that you have to be careful of, one very important point is this. I'll read this from you. Again, it's about taking possession. One of the biggest gold dealers in America was called International Gold Bullion Exchange. They had tens of thousands of customers. And what they did, they commingled company funds with customer funds. That means the funds were mingled with the operating capital of the company. Funds were not segregated, so the funds were used to finance loans to corporate officers, posh offices, real estate ventures, corporate jets, and other spending. So when people came to get the gold, there was no gold. Thousands of people lost all their money. And those, when it went into bankruptcy, they only received a few pennies for every $1 invested. So this is the danger of dealing with a dealer. Don't be very careful who you deal with. Even though the dealer may be honest, he may not have the funds to cover. And this is what's happened with Geneva Gold. People demanding delivery, they couldn't deliver, they couldn't pay, people lost everything. So this is the few guidelines of gold. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask me. Martin and I have done extensive research on gold. We have some very safe products that you can invest in. We've done very well. We have our own money involved in these same investments. So do consider that and be very careful. What is too good to be true is usually not true, so be careful. Okay?
All right. Any questions that you have so far for the goals? All right. Any questions? Can you hear me? Just want to know some response. Can you hear me? All right. Can you hear me? Hope you all can hear me, right? Just like to some response, please, if you can hear me or not. Okay, good. All right. Okay, that's good. Okay, you can hear me now. Thanks a lot. Now, what I want to show you in here is actually another Ponzi scheme, very similar to the gold that we see in Geneva. Now, this scheme has been running up for the last 5 to 6 years. Now, like it or not, in Russia, Ponzi scheme like the MLM, like Geneva, is real. Now, I just want to draw your attention now. Now, if you think and believe in MLM, you should invest in this scheme, because this one is only paying, the one in Geneva are paying 3%. This one is paying 40% a month. That's right, 40% a month. And it claims to have 35 million members in there. And if you caught what I saw on TV yesterday about this one of the investors for the Geneva, now he's blaming Bank Negara and all the regulatory for, really shutting down the business. And similarly, if you can see this, I just want to draw your attention in here. There's the same a comment in here that really resonates, right? Look, they have launched claim that there is no case again. They are all lies. But I understand that for those who want to withdraw the money, no one has a nerve of steel, no financial instrument. What can we do? There has been a panic. You see, what he's trying to say in here is really that no one ever lose money in this scheme, right? But the whole point of it is Bank Negara and and the regulator don't like companies like this to print money. Basically, they're just printing money. They're able to print money. As long as people keep coming in, they're able to print money. Now, one of the things that I did know, one of the investors did was actually he borrowed money from the bank. Now, if you borrowed a 6% scheme from the bank, or 6 to 8% scheme, and then you put it on one of these Geneva scheme, which give you a 24% guaranteed return, don't you think you will make considerable returns? Does it make sense? So that has pondered a lot of people who actually go into leveraging their investment. And that's, to me, is very dangerous. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. This the Geneva Gold. Be careful. There are better scheme than this. If you really want interested in gold, talk to me or talk to Bill, and we can help you out. All right. So is that okay so far? Okay. Okay, there's a question in here. Is the land scheme a scam happening in Canada? It's yes and no, for that matter, because it's a scam. The land scheme is a scam. Now the thing with the land scheme is because, again, it's, how do I say it? A lot of empty promises. Now to answer these questions, I've actually done up the website in here. For those of you who, these are the questions you should ask. Right, investment scheme on the W Wealth MY website here. Right, this is actually from Sing Chu. First of all, if anyone approach you, is where did you get my name? What risks are involved in the proposed investment? These are the questions. Okay, so for the land scheme that you have, you can ask the same question. It's on the Wealth website in here on the first block. So can you send me a written explanation of investment so I can consider in my leisure? Can you give me the name of the firm and the officer? Are your investment traded on regular exchange? And then what exactly, where will my money be? Can I liquidate it? All this back. These are the questions you must have. And if they can't answer of this question, then it's likely to be a scam. Okay, so because look at this picture, free money in here. So take this to your heart, and I like it or not, I don't like people to lose money. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to our regular program in here that we talk about. Just a quick one, the October 2012 stock market comment is completed. Are Malaysians and Singaporean investors protected? What do you mean by Malaysians and Singapore? Is it what is it for stocks, Catherine? That's a Catherine from Melbourne. No, in any Ponzi scheme, I don't think anyone is protected, Catherine, to answer your question. Okay. That's why they call it the Ponzi scheme. Okay, let's move on to the October stock market comment here. I don't want to waste no time. Let's see where is that. Okay. Now, I just want to cover very quickly on the October stock market comment in here. For those premium members, you can read it. Pay especially attention to the monthly checklist in here, but I'll just go through with you. By the way, we are doing our main course this coming October 20, 21st and 22nd. And we'll be talking a great deal about the volume spread analysis, the main course. For those of you who is looking for a bit of explanation how we trade and how we invest, this is a good time to really come and see us and meet us. We only do this course either twice or 3 times a year. This may be our last course for the year before we do one next year, March. Okay, so the date here is October 20 and 22nd. Okay, the Clipper Strip strategy, I think you all seen this one before, where I talk about the Asian miss, Malaysia, Singapore, and today, this morning 10 o'clock posting, you will notice I talk about Indonesia and Philippines as well as Malaysia is hitting all-time high. So is there any strange reason why? Because if you know, look at this about the Clipper ship, this is where we are, and we as Malaysians are very, very, lucky to actually be in the center of growth. Where else, if you compare to US and Europe, we're getting a lot of problems with that. Okay. So the highlight of the 2013 budget, I did touch on this on the Tuesday Capital TV, where we talk about some, the one that actually benefited will be the consumer stock, especially the sin sector. The JTI and the alcoholic beverage was not affected. That's what we are seeing, potentially a growth in that area. There will be good buys in this, especially in GAB, BAT and JTI. Take a look at that, and I've done some posting on the website. Okay. What else? Lost sound. Okay, can you still hear me? Can you hear me? All right. Now this is a chart that I have, and I've been talking about it also on Tuesday TV. Don't look so much at the national debt to GDP, because Malaysia now people is hammering about the 55% GDP, and they're saying that this could in turn get Malaysia in trouble. But if you look in the scheme of things, Singapore is actually at 100% of GDP to growth, and yet they're still doing well. Now, like it or not, our country, as we move forward, we have to take up infrastructure projects. To me, that's not a big concern. The most concern is ability to collect revenues. If our